Welcome to the auto-scroller of Tenchu Z. Mission 16 takes us to the first of the two missions in the Merchant District, with this one requiring us to follow Echigoya Sr. around as he saunters about. To speed things up, we'll scare Echigoya with loud noises, forcing him to run along his preset route. We achieve this mostly with items, but we don't equip any before the mission begins. Take a step forward and roll, then another step into an L jump. Loop back and run off the roof, shattering your ankles upon landing. Choose not to feel the pain and run behind the buildings to the east. Then make your way north. Roll next to the archer and wait for him to begin turning. When he does, draw the sword, then roll west twice. Watch for Echigoya to walk next to the archer, then dash SK the archer. Sheath the sword and relieve the archer of his bow, then continue east up the slope path. As you crest the slope, fire an arrow at the lantern to re-spook Echigoya, using the aiming reticle if preferred. Once he rounds the corner, hop up to the rooftops to the north, continuing on to L-jump across the alley. Look west and aim at the fence to the right of the lantern, then fire the bow as the proximity meter switches from incrementing to decrementing. Once Echigoya returns to a blue meter state, roll down behind the alley guard and draw the sword. Roll to the right and face the street, then wait for the shadow of the street guard to appear. Once it does, L-jump to aerial SK, chaining into a consecutive SK. From here, run east towards the watchtower. L-jump and hardland into the northwest corner of the pond, then jump back out and head southwest. Sheath the sword, pick up the shuriken, and double back towards topside, equipping the shuriken in the process. Observe the Tomokichi. Once he begins to turn, emerge and draw the sword to dash SK him. Resheath the sword, wait for the vanishing to settle on the ground, then grab it and run south. Fire a shuriken at the fence near Echigoya, then run after him once he turns west. Recollect the shuriken, then roll past the civilian and run between the two buildings. Chuck the shuriken behind Echigoya before recollecting it again. Make your way to the middle of the map and fire the shuriken once more near Echigoya to send him back to blue meter, then dip out and wait for the mission to conclude. Times will typically be between mid 216s and low 217s. The core mechanic for this stage is the blue meter. Unlike most enemies, Echigoya attempts to run away while in this state, more similar to civilian behavior. Since Echigoya's path is predetermined, the blue meter serves to consistently expedite the level. So the primary objective is to be in position to activate the next one as quickly as possible. The primary means of triggering this state is via loud noises while remaining unseen. Dash SKs, ricocheting projectiles off of terrain, jumping in puddles, and the fan favorite ankle explosion at the start of the mission. Keeping in mind that the mission instantly fails if Echigoya fully detects you or is attacked in any way, it's important to stay out of sight while Echigoya is in blue meter and not to strike him with projectiles. Conveniently, Echigoya's detection capabilities aren't as godlike as they are on hard difficulty. Greater liberties can be taken in positioning at farther distances, as Echigoya's detection range is the main attribute that is severely reduced between the difficulty settings. Some care still needs to be taken, as more egregious displays of brute force and ignorance can still be punished accordingly. If you watched the HM5 tutorial for this mission, I talked about how to deal with civilians in pretty specific ways. For any percent, they can almost entirely be ignored. Civilian detection capabilities are generally poor regardless of difficulty setting, with easy difficulty reducing them further. One of the civilians near the end of the level can spot you, but it's usually irrelevant due in large part to the consecutive SK earlier in the mission making up any sort of point loss. The key to completing Mission 16 consistently is realizing that doing strats slightly too late is almost always better than slightly too early. Jumping the gun in this level can have consequences ranging from a minor inconvenience to an unmitigated disaster, with most outcomes skewed towards the latter. In contrast, occasionally being slow on the uptake simply results in corresponding time loss, with the overall game plan remaining largely unaffected. As with all the speedrun strategies in Tenchu Z, approach this mission especially with an emphasis on precision over blind haste, and fast completion times will follow.